He sent letters dripping with blood and secrets and dared the world to stop him. We never did. Northern California, late 1960s, a time of social change, unrest, and growing fears. But nothing could prepare the quiet towns for the horror about to descend. The Zodiac Killer wasn't just a murderer. He was a ghost, a shadow that haunted the night, striking fear into the hearts of strangers. Over the next 2 years, he claimed 5 known victims, though he boasted of many more. He sent taunting letters, puzzles, and ciphers to the press and police, daring them to catch him. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer, the man who vanished without a trace, leaving behind only cryptic clues and a trail of terror. It all began on December 20th, 1968, on a cold, dark night near Vallejo, California. Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday parked at the end of Blue Rock Springs Road, a quiet spot where couples sought privacy, but an unseen killer was watching. Suddenly, gunshots rang out. David was killed instantly. Betty Lou was shot as she tried to run. She died hours later. The police arrived to a grisly scene, a young couple brutally murdered, with no clear motive and no suspects. Then, less than 7 months later, on July 4th, 1969, the killer struck again. Darlene Ferrin and Michael McGaugh sat in a parked car near Blue Rock Springs Park. Shots were fired. Darlene was killed. Michael survived, wounded but alive, and he would become the first eyewitness. He just walked up to the passenger side window, pulled a gun out, and started shooting. The survivor's description was vague but terrifying. A man with a frightening smile and hooded mask bearing a cross-circle symbol. The city was on edge. Fear spread like wildfire. Less than a month after the second attack, the first letters arrived. 3 letters were mailed to the San Francisco Chronicle, Examiner, and Vallejo Times-Herald. Each contained a cipher, a coded message, and a demand. Zodiac demanded his symbol be printed on the front page, or he would kill again. His symbol, a circle with a cross through it, a signature of terror. Inside the ciphers, the messages were chilling. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all. The cryptograms baffled police and experts for weeks. Then amateur codebreakers from across the country solved the first cipher, revealing not just words but a glimpse into a dark mind. But the puzzles were only part of his game. He was watching the reaction, feeding off the fear. On September 27th, 1969, the Zodiac Killer escalated. At Lake Berryessa, a young couple parked by the water were attacked in cold blood. A man walked up wearing a strange hood with his symbol on it. He tied us up, then stabbed me repeatedly. The brutality shocked the community. This wasn't random violence. This was terror with a signature. Then, only weeks later, came the murder that shocked San Francisco to its core. On October 11th, 1969, taxi driver Paul Stein was shot dead in the city's affluent Presidio Heights neighborhood. This was the Zodiac's first known attack inside a city in broad daylight. The killer tore a page from the police report, taunting investigators with his handwriting. The investigation was complex and frustrating. Police departments across jurisdictions struggled to coordinate. Thousands of tips poured in, many false leads. The Zodiac's cryptic letters continued to pour in, taunting the press and police alike. Handwriting analysts, cryptographers, and psychologists all weighed in, but the killer stayed just out of reach. Despite a composite sketch, eyewitness descriptions varied widely, making the hunt nearly impossible. Over the decades, dozens of suspects emerged. Arthur Lee Allen was the most famous, a man with a history of violence, interest in codes, and proximity to the crimes. Yet, despite intense scrutiny, no physical evidence linked him conclusively. In recent years, advances in DNA testing have ruled out Allen and many others. Other theories range from rogue cops to soldiers returning from Vietnam, but none have solved the riddle. The Zodiac Killer's shadow looms large over American pop culture. Movies like Zodiac by David Fincher, countless books, podcasts, and documentaries explore his story. He became the template for the modern serial killer, elusive, intelligent, and terrifying. More than 50 years later, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains a mystery. He left us letters, ciphers, and a legacy of fear. If he's still alive, maybe he's watching us now. And the question remains, who was the Zodiac Killer?